On Trendz today, Dino Melaye dumps PDP and joins ADC ahead of 2027 elections. Tinubu deserves second term, like Buhari, says Onanuga. Court orders NYSC to allow female corps members wear skirt based on religious beliefs. Peter Obi under PDP will defeat any northern candidate, says Jerry Ghana. Hello and welcome to today's live session of Trendz on LJE, where we dissect leadership, economic and justice issues in Nigeria, Africa and the globe. I'm your host, Mohammed Enayes Sule. Don't forget, you too can be a part of this conversation by dropping your comment on our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube and Instagram at LJE Nigeria. Joining us today are society and political analysts, media experts and lecturers, as well as a social commentator whom I shall be introducing after the break. Stay tuned.
Camera rolling. Light set. Sound check. And action.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's program, a program where we get to talk about the daily affairs and legal issues with intent to educate.
This is the perfect space to create professional quality videos, recording news, podcasts, and all media content. With top-of-the-line cameras, studio lighting, soundproof spaces, we provide everything you need for a seamless shoot. Our fully equipped studio ensures high-quality production every time. Enjoy a comfortable, air-conditioned environment with professional-grade gear and expert support. Contact us now or visit our Abuja location to reserve your spot.
Welcome back from that short break. This is still Trendz on LJE, where we dissect leadership, economic and justice issues in Nigeria, Africa and the globe. And joining me today, our panels, I shall introduce. By my left is political and society analyst, Mr. Hope Joseph Joe. You're welcome to the studio.
Very beautiful morning, and I'm not ungrateful to be here this morning.
Thank you. And also we have a media expert and lecturer, Dr. Uchedi Ikedichukwu. Thank you for joining us today. All right. And of course, our beautiful social commentator, Ms. Miriam Gamaliel. Thank you for joining us today. All right, quite interesting stories we have in store. The first is Dino Melaye decamping from PDP and joining the ADC. The former Kogi State West Senator Dino Melaye has officially resigned from the People's Democratic Party, citing the party's lack of potency and failure to provide credible leadership to rescue Nigeria from its current challenges. He has since joined the African Democratic Congress ADC, signaling a significant political realignment ahead of 2027 general elections. Melaye's move comes from amidst broader discussions about opposition unity, with ADC leaders emphasizing that the emerging coalition is focused on insecuring Nigeria's democracy rather than the individual political ambitions. The development highlights the fluid nature of Nigerian politics and strategic positioning of key figures as the next election cycle approaches. The first question goes to you, Mr. Hope Joseph. Dino Melaye's defection to the ADC and his reasons for leaving the PDP suggest a major shakeup, in the political landscape. How might such high-profile defections impact the strength and credibility of opposition parties leading up to the 2027 elections?
Well, democratically, it is the beauty of democracy to have a vibrant and a workable opposition party. It brings that beauty of democracy to come to stay, where people will come out to it brings that, it calls people so that people be involved in politics. That is the beauty of democracy. Now, outside...
All right, sorry to cut you short there. We now go on a technical short break. When we come back, Trendz continues. Don't go away.
Camera rolling. Light set. Sound check. And action.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's program, a program where we get to talk about the daily affairs and legal issues with intent to educate.
This is the perfect space to create professional quality videos, recording news, podcasts, and all media content. With top-of-the-line cameras, studio lighting, soundproof spaces, we provide everything you need for a seamless shoot. Our fully equipped studio ensures high-quality production every time. Enjoy a comfortable, air-conditioned environment with professional-grade gear and expert support. Contact us now or visit our Abuja location to reserve your spot.
Camera rolling. Light set. Sound check. And action.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's program, a program where we get to talk about the daily affairs of legal issues with intent to educate.
This is the perfect space to create professional quality videos, recording news, podcasts, and all media content. With top-of-the-line cameras, studio lighting, soundproof spaces, we provide everything you need for a seamless shoot. Our fully equipped studio ensures high-quality production every time. Enjoy a comfortable, air-conditioned environment with professional-grade gear.
In a bid to tackle the growing security challenges faced by farmers across Nigeria, the Leadership Hub Justice and Economic Advancement, LJE Nigeria, paid a strategic visit to the Delta State Commissioner for Agriculture. The visit aimed to discuss the impact of insecurity on agriculture and national food security and to seek collaborative solutions with the State Ministry of Agriculture.
Sir, the group name is Leadership of Justice and Economic Advancement. So the Honourable Commissioner may want to know why you are here.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Precisely, we understand the importance of this industry. And if you have been seeing some notice about campaign going on around the country, Operation Free the Bush in Nigeria, the LJE Nigeria is championing the Operation Free the Bush. Behind the Operation Free the Bush, we are also campaigning Operation Restrict the Movement of Cattle in Nigeria. The Leadership of Justice and Economic Advancement is a leadership advocacy organization. We are into justice, we are into leadership advocacy and economic advancement for training young people within the country and outside the country. Precisely why we are here, sir. There is a growing problem in this country. And just on Tuesday here, we were invited by the Inspector General of Police to come and give account about what we are advocating for Operation Restriction of Movement of Cattle. We tend to be very careful not to itemize it as cattle Fulani herdsmen. No, we refer them to cattle rearers. We have made similar presentation to Dino State and Ministry of Agriculture, received by the Commission of Agriculture, and we have been moving around the country personally, along with my team in Abuja. I have a document I'm going to present to you, but we are organizing a national conference in Abuja Nav Center, taking place on the 30th of September and on the 1st of October in Abuja. This conference basically is securing Nigeria's future, addressing the root causes of the herdsmen-farmer conflict through justice and inclusive dialogue. We have carried out a very comprehensive research about the issue of herdsmen-farmers crisis, and we have come to identify a very common term. To identify this thing to be that the herdsmen, the cattle rearers are businessmen, the farmers are businessmen. What we are presenting to Mr. President and to governors across the country is that there is a need for us to systematically implement complete restriction of movement of cattle in Nigeria. How do we do that? We will do that by recognizing the fact that these guys are business people. The cattle rearers should be able to provide certain portions of land, for the purpose of rearing their cattle and completely restricting the movement of cattle. Today, people can no longer go to farm. People cannot plant, even at your backyard, you can't even plant crops at your backyard because the cattle rearers will move their cattle from one place to another and consume the crops. It is a very difficult issue for us to cope if we don't address this issue from the roots. And that is why we are here to present to you the document for the securing Nigeria's future, addressing the root causes of the herdsmen farmers through justice and inclusive dialogue.
The president of LJE Nigeria formally presented an invitation to the upcoming national conference titled Securing Nigeria's Future and Addressing Herdsmen Attacks.
Also, thank you for moving to the fore in the advocacy of the issue of the farmers and others clashes. For me, if you call it farmers and clashes, you are just very good suits. For me, anybody that carries a gun to kill is a criminal. And we should not color them with a profession. And it's a grave security challenge. For us in Delta States, we have been in the forefront of fighting this. When our governor, Elder Sheriff Francis Okoye was speaker, the law was promulgated then. We call it the anti-reason law, which aim was to make sure that marauders do not have a free rein in Delta States. And under that law, the Delta State Livestock Management Committee was set up, which is an enforcement arm of that law, which is meant to act as the police that will make sure that open grazing is not practiced in Delta State. And then I'm happy to say that our officers are on field and they are working. But going forward, we also saw the need that if we cannot actually produce food as we used to produce because of this, we cannot go hungry. We must keep on feeding ourselves. And he came up with the initiative of the homestead farming. The homestead farming is what you were referring to, that in our backyards we will be able to farm. Yes. And presently, the ministry were encouraging people to grow their own food. And we are doing this by example. For instance, the governor, right in the government house, has his own farm. There is own small homestead farm where he has vegetables and other things. I also, as commissioner, also have my own. Some of my officers also do have their own. And we're not just doing personally. The ministry, we have started our phase 1 of homestead farming, where we are going to give out inputs.
We told you about the Dino Melaye's PDP dumping as he jumped straight to ADC ahead of the 2027 general elections. And we had Mr. Hope Edet, our social and political analyst, commenting on that particular issue. Over to you again, sir.
All right. Talking about Dino Melaye defection, let's start with democratically.
Yes.
You know, it's a beauty of democracy. That is the beauty of democracy, when you have a vibrant opposition, a workable opposition. As a matter of fact, one of the things that this party, this APC government has so much enjoyed is not having a vibrant opposition party that can, you know, checkmate them like the way they used to do. We all know based on political history. So democratically, it's a nice one. It brings the beauty of democracy. You know, it allows people to participate in democracy. Constitutionally, Section 40 allows it to have that freedom of association. As a matter of fact, that section of the law gives him the right to join any political party of his choice. He can choose to even join APC. He's welcome. As a matter of fact, the president will highly welcome. He'll be welcome in APC if he decides to join APC today, which president has said that the door is open to everyone. Now, politically let's look at his intention, you know, to join another party. Dino Melaye as a person has been around, but has not been really, you know, involved in terms of relevancy in politics. We all know what has been happening in PDP, the likes of Wike being a strong man there. And we saw how that happened before during the last election.
Yeah.
And you and I can know as journalists that they have not been all well with PDP, and the giant, the big dogs, have to find a way, to also to remain relevant. Now, talking about him joining to other party, it boils down on his people, from the Kogi state, in the sense that I don't know what is aiming at. We all know he wanted to be the governor, but it didn't happen. He may decide to go for governorship. You can't stop him from doing that. So it boils down on the people of Kogi State to go further to elect him or not. Section 14, sub A said the sovereignty of Nigeria belongs to the people of Nigeria, through which they derive their power from. As a matter of fact, it is the people that will decide. So we can tell the reason why he's joining the ADC, but he has categorically said that he's leaving because the party is in, he left, cannot, live up to the expectation based on all he said. But the question is, why is there politicians? Whenever they leave the power, they have sense. Once they go into the power, this is the same people you will see that will be asking. Is it not the same person that was saying certain things? Why can't they now live up to that expectation that Nigerians, expected them or the people voted them for? So it's a two-way thing. Once you are out of power, you make certain statements, you say certain things, and once you enter the power, it's like you are no longer yourself. So maybe we have to go spiritual to know maybe they have to be delivered, or they need deliverance.
Okay, thank you very much. What do you, Doctor? What do you say on this current issue?
Just like my colleague just said earlier before now, see, Dino Melaye has kind of lacked political relevance and has been out of the public space for a while. See this opportunity as an opportunity to showcase himself again to the public. But my question for Dino Melaye, jumping from APC to PDP, from PDP to now ADC, it has been a norm, it has been a culture in the political terrain of Nigeria that our politicians jump to wherever they feel like. But my question is, this you're jumping around, who did you consult? Of who are the people benefiting your jumping around? Did you consult your constituents? Did you consult your people, or you are jumping around because of your selfish reasons? In fact, I liken the situation of Dino Melaye to that of El-Rufai. Believe you me, if Dino Melaye was still gaining that political relevance, there's no need of jumping around. And we cannot hear him, can't hear him to say anything. But it's because he is lacking that relevance, and that's why he's jumping around. Now, it's just like my colleague said, it's democracy, and the beauty of it is to have a credible, vibrant, and powerful critical opposition, so that it will put the APC on their toe. So let's look forward and see what will pan out of this decamping from PDP to ADC in the near future.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Ms. Marian. How do you see this issue?
The thing is, Dino Melaye is known for jumping from one party to another. You get? So him now going to ADC. Why is he going to ADC? Like Dr. Chris just said, that he consult his constituents. I mean, he's just going there for his own selfish interest, you get? Because these are our politicians. I see them as anywhere benefish. So now, if PDP is no longer favoring him, he has gone to ADC. If ADC is no longer favoring him, he will move to another political party. So he's not doing it for his constituents or the people he inputs that he's leading. He's doing it for himself. But in all, let's see if he will be able to challenge the sitting president.
All right. Thank you very much for that contribution. Of course, our next story is Tinubu deserves second term, like Buhari, says Onanuga. Bayo Onanuga, the special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on information and strategy, has asserted that President Tinubu deserves to seek re-election for a second term, akin to his predecessor, whom is the late Muhammadu Buhari. Speaking on Trust Radio, Onanuga urged northern politicians to allow the South to compete its turn in power, noting the North had patiently waited during Buhari's 8 years tenure. He dismissed claims of marginalization by the Arewa Consultative Forum as a political ploy to undermine Tinubu's administration due to his southern origin. Onanuga challenged critics to provide verifiable data for their allegations of disproportionate appointments and neglected northern infrastructure, citing numerous appointments of northerners to key security positions and an improved security situation as counter evidence. Mr. Hope, somebody is saying here that the current president deserves a second term. You know, he's also calling northern politicians to allow President Tinubu a second term, citing, you know, regional equity, bringing to the forefront the issues of zoning in Nigerian politics, because, of course, the South are actually clamoring for that position. How does this principle of rotational presidency influence the stability and unity of the nation? And what are the implications of advocating for or against it?
Well, it's a matter of leadership. I wouldn't want to come and project zoning. Is about who is the president that matters.
Okay.
Well, constitutionally, President Tinubu has the right to go for the second term.
Right.
The law permits him to do so. But his external media should also have a scorecard of his achievement. Because this is the same president that said, if I can't produce sustainable power supply to you, don't re-elect me as a president.
Right.
The past are there. So if he has not lived up to the expectation, then the Nigerians will see by themselves.
Yes.
The press, the journalists, even what we are doing here, Section 20, to give us that room to uphold the accountability and responsibility of the government to the people. And that's what we are doing here. So if the president has come out to say he deserves it, no doubt, by constitution, he deserves to go for this content.
Right.
But politically,
Yeah.
has he lived up to the expectation in terms of the scorecard, in terms of his achievement? Oh my God. Now that we are here, can we say, oh, we have enjoyed government better than before? Or are we still magma-rolling? Are we still struggling to enjoy the benefit of governance of the day? These are the things Nigerians want to ask him, not me, not us. The Nigerians will ask, has he lived up to the expectation? So for him to come to his content, no problem, because surely he has the right. But sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, because it is at the time of election that Nigeria will know whether he has to be re-elected or the electoral reform. If you have that trust, it's not when you are leaving 2 weeks to the office. You now talk about electoral reform. When you know you have enjoyed, it can be proven that it's malpractice and other fraudulent means of going to power. So these are the things. Let us have an electoral reform. Let us have a free and fair election. If we cannot allow him, and let us also look at, has he also lived up to the expectation? Section 20, sub 2, paragraph B, that welfare and security shall be the primary responsibility of the government. In terms of welfareism, it connotes providing enabling environment for people to thrive. And I want to ask the president, has he been able to provide enabling environment for people to strive? In terms of security, let's look at the facts on ground. Right. I'm not to talk down the government, but in law, there's no called res ipsa locuto. The facts speak for itself. Looking around the country today, as you can see, we lost a great guy, a great son in Anambra, the fish magnet CEO, lost his life due to kidnapping. These are the reports that we know. There are reports that we can't even, that are not being reported. There are reported criminal and crime scenes that are not being reported in Nigeria. Right. Now, can we say that in any part of this country we can both of free, that things are working well in terms of security? These are the things the scorecard Nigerians want the president to showcase. If that is not done, then his coming back may be a doubt in the people, in the Nigerians' mind, but it's left for Nigerians to make the final decision.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Doctor. There's been an issue of regional appointments that the Tinubu administration have been accused of. Konkoso, for one, has mentioned it. And Onanuga here is asking, or Onanuga attributes, this criticism of Tinubu's administration to political mischief. Based on the president's southern origin, how can the government effectively counter such allegations and foster national cohesion, especially when confronted with claims of regional bias in governance and appointments?
Okay, our politicians have lost it when it comes to integrity and their reputation. They have lost it in the sense that during the time of start by going straight to Orlando in the first place, what do we expect media to do? You know, he is appointed, he is a media dog to the government, so he is doing his work. You want him to lose his work? He will not lose his job anyway. So of course he must say something. And that's the reason, and also constitutionally, he is at liberty and have this freedom of speech. So on that note, I keep him aside. Then coming to the area of the government, one was so saying, coming out now to say that, okay, the government of Tinubu is being biased, is being regionalized in the area of resource allocation. Where was Kwakwaso during the time of late President Muhammad Buhari? I couldn't hear his voice. It's just because being an opposition to him, I didn't hear anything from him. And sufficiently, I am convinced that if I am to talk about a biased government, let President Muhammad Buhari is not void of it. You know, and that's the reason, you know, that's why when we want to start something bad, you will start it and you don't know the branch it will have in the nearest future. And that's the reason President Tinubu came in and said, it's my turn. What are we expecting? It's his turn. That's the reason he's trying to appoint his own cronies. So I don't know where how our leaders have lost it all in all ramification. Kwakwaso, for all I know, is in LPP and is not a party member to PDP. And he never talks all this while. During the time of President Muhammad Buhari, we also have his disappointment. It was lopsided as well. And Tinubu has come in. He is liberating on what is the president did, and he's trying to grow on it. So we should just support what President Tinubu is doing. I'm not attached to that. But let us balance issues. Let us be allow the policy of equity and justice to play out in all we do. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. On our next story, we have the court ordering the NYSC to allow female corps members wear skirts based on religious beliefs. The Federal High Court in Abuja has ruled that the National Youth Service Corps NYSC must allow female corps members to wear skirts in line with their religious beliefs, declaring that the agency's trouser-only policy is unconstitutional. Justice Hawaiiwa delivered the judgment on June 13, 2025, stating that enforcing trousers violates fundamental rights to freedom of religion and human dignity as per Section 38(1) of the 1999 Constitution. The decision came from a consolidated suit by two former corps members who argued that the policy violated their Christian faith, citing Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 5. The court granted all reliefs, including recognizing skirts as part of the uniform for those with genuine religious objections, ordering the recall and issuance of certificate to affected corps members, and awarding 500,000 naira in damages to each applicant for harassment. My first question will go to you, Mrs. Miriam Gamaliel. The court's ruling on the NYSC uniform policy underscores the tension between institution regulations and individual religious freedom. What are the broader implications of this judgment for, other public institutions in Nigeria regarding their dress code and the policies that may conflict with religious practices?
No. It's funny that where we are in Nigeria today, what is bothering our leaders is skirts and trousers.
Okay.
Yeah? But that being said, if they're trying to change the trousers to skirts, how would these corps members undergo the manual trainings or the manual drills they do? Are they going to wear skirts and climb high ropes or climb high trees? Because I still don't understand how they want to do that. Or maybe when they want to climb the trees or those ropes, they'll wear trousers, then after that they'll remove it. Anyway, they're not splitting this to just NYSC. There are other parastatals, there are other uniform agencies. They still say they should change their uniforms to skirts because of their belief, like the soldiers, the military, the air force, because you're a Muslim or because you're a Christian, you shouldn't wear a particular outfit. I don't think that is what we should be dwelling on in Nigeria now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. For somebody who is in the education space for a long time, looking at religious beliefs and balancing it within people, how sustainable is something, just like Miriam has said here, it could be expanded to other parastatals. What do you think?
You see, it's very appalling to bad to talk that at this stage in our government, we are still talking about what to wear and what not to wear in our agencies like NYSC. Very, very bad to hear. We have so many things bothering us as a people. It shouldn't be the NYSC trouser and skirt issue. We have the security issue. We have the poverty prevailing. We have the energy issue. So many agriculture, so many issues in the country that bother us as a people. But very unfortunate, we have devoted our special time on the issue of this nature, talking about rather. Look at the time spent by the judiciary. Look at the energy. Look at the effort, money spent, and all it took the judicial process to come out with this kind of verdict. It's very, very unfortunate. We have the Nigerian Army, just like she said earlier. We have other agencies that wear trousers. By extension, will this be extended to those agencies? Because in the Nigerian Army, I see the wear skirt as well.
Okay.
I see the wear skirt, I see the wear trouser. Depending on the one that will allow you to execute your duty as the Constitution calls. Now, constitutionally, with my little knowledge of the law, I don't know whether the policy of any agency supersedes that of the Constitution. You know, they came up with this policy. But I think in our Constitution, there's something like freedom of what to wear and what not to wear.
Right.
So I don't know whether state is out of it. So for me, we should be looking at what the Constitution says, not particularly what the policy. But thank God, our judiciary was very apt on this issue, coming out with a very reasonable verdict that will solve the problem at hand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Over to you, Ms. Hope Joseph. There's always a right to religion as well. What's going to be the case?
Section 10 of the 1999 Constitution clearly stipulates to this effect that no state shall in any form adopt any religion.
Okay.
Then Section 38 talks about that every citizen is entitled, to a freedom of association, conscience, and religion. He made mention of that religion. You're entitled. As a matter of fact, you have the right to change your religion from Muslim to Christian. That Section 38 gives you that right to do so. Right. Clearly stipulated. Just like my colleague rightly said, well, the area of trust or not to trust is a lacuna. It can be debated to know whether it's a mode of dressing also part of it. It was established in 1973 during the region of General Gowon, after a few years after the Nigerian Civil War. And the aim of that was to promote international national integration, to allow people to promote that unity among Nigerians. That was when the NYSC was established. But I don't think any religion issue was an issue. Religion matter was an issue, But it has to do with mode of dressing. But I have a problem. I don't want a situation where, you talk law, you look at morality. Law and morality work hand in hand. I don't want a situation where some of this, our Gen Z, what happens, may not abuse that power of putting on, mini skate and walking naked in the camp and say, oh, I have the right to wear short skate. So what is the definition of skate this time? It's going to be a problem because we don't need to enter the camp and wear mini skate. That will also be a problem. How are we going to regulate them now? Because they say wear skates. Now they wear mini skates. Some of them will know they will abuse it. Definitely we know. We know that this Gen Z will abuse it. So how would they now regulate it? Just like my colleague said, during the time of training, because they have to go through the mandatory. The soldiers, they undergo rigorous training during the first 2 weeks while you're in camp.
Yes.
I don't want to also wear skates to also do that. I mean, see, there's what called judicial rascality. There are times issues will come, we can throw it away. When you look at the moral advantage of it, you see, what can be legally right can be morally wrong. What can be morally right can be legally wrong. If you not say too late to wear skates, have you also considered the circumstances surrounding what will happen? Are you also aware that most of these young girls will now turn the skate to mini skates? Don't be surprised that some of these girls will be wearing pants to camp, and even, of course, they will do it. They will do it. So I'm not against freedom of right, association, freedom of, I mean, you have the right to choose, but it should not be based on religion. Not be based on religion.
Right.
And so, because the religion, they have cited that position of the law. I've quoted the section of the law. So what about if there's a religion that believes that they have to be wearing skates now in Nigeria? How are we going to handle such a situation? But my own is this: law and morality work hand in hand.
Okay.
If you give them that power, and they're going to abuse it, yes or no. But you and I, as journalists, as a world society, imagine they will definitely, they are going to abuse it, because the secular, it's not that it's a religious body, it's a secular system.
Yes.
Everybody can come here. We don't want to hear that the couple was raped. We don't also want to hear that they should also look at the measures of their state. These are realities. So they have the power to do what they want to have, but let's look at taking the decision and the effect of it is very, very important.
Thank you very much for that passionate response. We now move to the last story for today. Peter Obi under PDP will defeat any northern candidate. And this is the words of Jerry Ghana. Professor Jerry Ghana, a founding member of the People's Democratic Party and former Minister of Information, has publicly endorsed Peter Obi for 2027 presidency under the PDP platform. Ghana asserted that if Obi contests under the PDP, he would defeat any candidate from the northern region. He also confirmed that efforts are actively underway to woo Peter Obi back to the PDP. This statement comes amidst ongoing political realignments and discussions about strategic alliances among opposition parties to challenge the ruling All Progressives Congress in the next general election. Right, so the first question goes to Dr. Jerry Ghana's assertion that Peter Obi under PDP could defeat any northern candidate in 2027 is a bold claim. What factors could support or challenge this prediction, particularly considering Nigeria's complex ethno-religious and regional political dynamics?
You know, let me go a little bit in our own parents. They say animal being a wild, meaning small meat that can kill the lion. You understand?
Yeah.
That's what that was to. You know, it's a betting war, trying to woo somebody into getting his conscience.
Right.
Or in favor of his conscience. But P2B, as a politician with experience, he knows what he wants, and he knows what serves him best. He left PDP. He left PDP for. He left PDP to Labour Party, and he has his reasons for leaving. And if those things that made him to leave, if his budget reason for leaving PDP has been solved, maybe he will have the reason to come back. But if those reasons are still there, those blogs are still there, those problems are still there that made him to leave during the 2023 election, I think he will not go back. But I don't know the yardsticks upon which Professor Jerry Ghana is making his looking at our last general election. He knows what he made, how many votes he garnered from North, whether the North have grown in love, you know, to P2B for him to have turned around to become their best candidate. I don't know where our prof is getting his
data,
his strength and data to have said such a thing. So my advice to P2B is this. He is man enough. He is a political, one of the political figures in this country with proven records. He has experience. He knows what he wants. He should be very careful not to be tempted by this kind of weight. Let him go, consult his people, consult his God, and make his decision so that at the end of it all, he will not have any reason to regret whatever decision he has made. That is what I can say in that area.
Thank you very much. What do you, Mr. Hope, now? Imagine this is a tempting offer. PDP has structures all over the country. They came second in the just concluded elections. And with PDP trying to woo Peter Obi back, what do you think about that? Is it sensible or strategic enough for him to do that?
Well, I must say, Peter Obi, I must say, is a big, confusion. Let me just put it that way.
Okay.
In the sense that, you see, as I'm talking to you now, Labour Party is in faction, PDP, same thing. You know, we have seen their top dogs leaving to ADC. And you can see what's really going on. Most of these states governors have even come to Tinubu and said, look, we are ready to work for you. You know, there is this double party kind of going on already. So it's going to be very difficult for P2B in the sense that he has a lot of things to do. I mean, he has a lot of work to do. He didn't even come second, just like my colleague said. He came third. You know, that was during the time he was Labour Party. And Labour Party, I don't think he's going to still remain there, based on the fact that we have seen the fashion going on, Abure, the police and other ones, that's all going on. Wike is there now. Whether it's in PDP or APC, we don't know. It is Wike that knows which political party he is. We don't know that whether he is ready to support him. Now, Wike has one vote, no doubt, but we all know that it's still faction in a PDP. Now, if he has to go work with ADC, what about the state governors? The state governors will likely work against him. Because what is happening in Edo State and even in Benue State, where a governor will come and tell you don't have to come for campaign, which we saw that was very wrong. But it's a way of tell you that our level of political education is poor. So the politicians are already taking advantage of that. So it's going to be difficult for P2B. It's not by that mere statement, come to PDP. We all know that PDP is not all well with PDP. How is it going to start? So to bring them together, because you cannot work in a house that is already divided. The party is divided already. How will you now say this is going to be accepted? No, talking about the North. See, let us be realistic over this issue. You know, before what happened before the Nigerian Civil War, you know, during the post coup, I was carried out by Major General Kaduna Zogo. If you read that book and certain things, it was due to political turmoil and issues that was going on, the high level of corruption, nepotism. You know, Nigerians were not united. A lot of tribalism, went on before the military struck. That was why when Kaduna Zogo was arrested, he said, look, it wasn't about me, but it was based on the doctrine of necessity that something has to be done for peace to reign in Nigeria. The Northerners were having upper hands. During that time, a lot of things were going on, but we don't have to dabble into all that.
Right.
So we can take away the North when it has to do with voting relevancy in Nigeria, because they have the population. Yes, they have the population. So I don't know how he's going to go that way to convince the North to be there for him. Just look at it. The Northerners supported Tinubu. So he was able to work with the Westerners and he got what he wanted. If you notice, he was so smart.
Right.
That's why even when they say Muslim thing, he said, no, I don't agree. Because he know that very well that the Northerners will want to vote for Muslims.
Right.
I'm sorry to say this, I may sound this, but this is the realities.
Right.
So it's going to be very difficult for him, you know, to really convince enough based on the fact that our political education is still poor. It's still poor. So we have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. It's not just by mere comment. He has to bring a strong man in quote from the North, that the North should be able to support him. Don't forget what Jonathan faced. After all he did for the Northerners, when they came for this, he had to step down. And you saw what happened. He never had support from the North. So this is what. So when it comes to election, because of the population we have in the North, you have to buy their mind. You need to get a lot of support from the North. As I'm talking to you now from the East, is he even having support from the East? You can imagine somebody coming out to say, we hate you. Apparently, telling you we hate you. Even when they try to talk to him, you can dislike somebody, say, no, we hate you. We don't even want you to be relevant. So it's going to be very difficult for P2B. maybe he has to join APC if he chooses.
Sorry to what he just said.
Yes.
Something came into my mind when he was talking,
Right.
and that is on the political enlightenment and exposure
Right.
of our people.
Right.
We cannot forage the issue of sentiment in our politics.
Right.
Political sentiment, religious sentiment, tribal sentiment, all these things counts. And come to think of it, if we get it right in that area, how about our electionary process? Okay. So will it manifest, will it replicate to what the people are talking? So I don't know the area Prof is anchoring his strength when uttering or making that statement.
Thank you very much, my humble guests, for honoring our invitation here on Trendz Live this afternoon. And this is a society and political analyst, Mr. Hope Joseph Joe. Thank you for coming. And of course, media expert and lecturer, Dr. Uchedi Haraikedi Chukwu. And of course, our beautiful social commentator, Ms. Miriam Gamaliel. Thank you for making it to the studio today. We've come to the end of today's episode of Trendz. Here are the top stories making the headlines today. Dino Melaye dumps PDP, joins ADC ahead of the 2027 elections. Tinubu deserves second term like Buhari, says Onanuga. Court orders NYSC to allow female corps members wear skirts based on religious beliefs. And Peter Obi under PDP will defeat any northern candidate, says Professor Jerry Kana. We've come to the end of today's episode. Don't forget, you can be a part of the conversation by dropping your comment on our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at LJE Nigeria. You can also report a violation if you face one on our website at www.ljenigeria.org. Once again, I'm Mohammed Inayesule saying enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye for now.